Hi all, this is Nidia. So we were continuing the cost chapter and today we will learn about the average cost, average fixed cost and average variable cost. Coming to the average cost, children, cost means the expenditure and average means the per unit we are talking about. That means average cost means for making 1 unit of output, how much cost is incurred. Clear? That means it is the per unit cost we are finding it out. Now average cost is equals to total cost by, this is Q. Q means the output. So total cost by output if we do, we will get our average cost. It is also known as average total cost. Now for example, suppose I want to produce 100 pens. Clear? So I want to produce 100 pens and my total cost for producing 100 pens is 10,000 rupees. Suppose. Clear? Now, what is my average cost? So, average cost, if I put it total cost by quantity, that means total cost was 10,000 and quantity was 100. So, what I can see that cost of producing one pen will be 100 rupees. Clear? Cost of producing 1 unit of pen will be 100 rupees. Clear? This is just example I am making you clear. Clear? Average cost. Now children, average cost is in the short run, average cost is the summation of the average fixed cost and the average variable cost. We write like this way, average cost is equals to total cost by quantity of output produced. Now, total cost can be written as TFC plus TVC. We can write like this way. So, I can write average cost is equals to total fixed cost, total variable cost by the number of outputs produced. We can also write like this way. If we separate this, we can also write like this way. Clear? So, we know that average cost is equals to this. If we divide TFC by quantity, we will get average fixed cost. And if we divide total variable cost by quantity, we will get average variable cost. So, we can say that average cost is the summation of or combination of or addition of the average fixed cost or average variable cost. That means it is the summation of average fixed cost or average variable cost. This is one formula you can use or you can use this formula also. So, both are correct. Clear children? So, in the short period, average cost is the total, that means sum total of average fixed cost and average variable cost. Is it clear? Average cost means we are finding out the 1 unit cost. That means per unit cost how much it is. Clear? This is the average cost. Please note it down so that I can move further with the average variable cost. So children, are coming to the average fixed cost. Hope you understood the average cost. We will understand average variable cost also, but after average fixed cost. Children, cost is means what? Cost, I told, cost is the expenditure we are talking about. Clear? Now average is the per unit cost. Per unit we are calculating. So per unit fixed cost. And average fixed cost can be obtained by dividing total fixed cost by the number of units of output produced. Clear children? So, you see that AFC is obtained by dividing total fixed cost by the number of units of output produced. Now, fixed cost by definition remains fixed at all levels of output. You can see in the table fixed cost remains fixed at all units of level of output. Now, what happens? Why it is fixed children? As you increase the production, see, as the production is increasing, what happens? My fixed cost is getting distributed. That means fixed cost is distributed over a number of units of output. It's not it. You see, when you are increasing the production, the total fixed cost is distributed over a larger number of units. So, what happens? My AFC is falling down. See, my AFC falls. Clear? Suppose, for example, for a producer to produce 1 unit, his fixed cost is rupees 60. So, average fixed cost is 60. That means 60 divided by 1 is 60. Now, to produce second unit, total fixed cost is 60, average fixed cost is 30 and so on. So what I can see here is that larger the production, that means what? Larger the output, the lower will be the AFC. Clear? Clear children? The larger the, again I'm repeating, the larger the output, the lower will be AFC. This also I will make you clear. Now children, you see in this diagram that my AFC curve is falling down. It is downward sloping curve. So downward sloping curve children, always remember downward sloping curve means what? Downward sloping curve means that there is an inverse relationship between output and AFC. Clear children? See, formula is AFC is equals to TFC by Q. So there is a inverse relationship. That means if one increases, the other will decrease. That means if output increases, see here is output is increasing. So as my output is increasing, my AFC is falling down. Now my question is being asked every time that why it is downward sloping curve. It is downward sloping curve children because TFC is constant. You see, TFC is constant at all level of output. That means the larger, that means as we increase the production, so same TFC is distributed over a number of units of output. Larger number of unit of output, the same TFC is distributed, so my average fixed cost is falling. Now, why it is falling? Also there is a reason I will say you. First of all, you noted in the notebook that it is a downward sloping curve. Why? Because TFC is constant at all level of output. Clear children? Now, you see, as the output is increasing, my same TFC is getting divided. The same TFC is getting divided by the number of units of output produced. That means if you increase the production, that means what happens? If you increase the production, the same fixed costs are getting divided by the larger number of outputs. So what happens? My AFC goes on diminishing and my production, as the production goes on increasing, my AFC goes on diminishing. So it is downward sloping curve. Is not it? Now, second is AFC cannot be zero. Why? Because TFC cannot be zero. AFC cannot touch x-axis because TFC can never be zero. That's why it does not touch the x-axis. Third is the AFC curve has the property of rectangular hyperbola. That means what? Now, see children, the formula is AFC is equals to TFC by Q. Is not it? So, we can write like this way, TFC is equals to AFC into Q. We can write like this way, is not it? Now, which means that whenever we multiply AFC into Q, we will get the same value of TFC. Suppose, see, if you multiply AFC into Q, AFC is 20 here and quantity produced is 3. So 20 into 3 is 60. Same way, AFC is 15 and output produced is 4. So 15 into 4 is 60. Clear children? So if you multiply AFC with the output, you will get the same value of TFC. So in the table you have seen. Now if we take any point, suppose if we take any point on the AFC curve, suppose I am taking this point. Clear? Now suppose this is to produce 2 units of output. This is the output. Here this line is the output I am taking. Clear? And to produce 2 units of output, my AFC, this is the AFC curve, we are talking about AFC is 30. This is the AFC, so I am writing here. Clear? Now, you see that, now if you multiply AFC into Q, this is the output, that is the output produced Q, and this is AFC. Now, if I multiply, AFC is 30 and quantity is 2. Now, what is TFC here? Is 60. So, whenever you multiply AFC into output, you will get the same value of TFC. Clear children? So, if we take any point on the AFC curve and multiply the AFC with the output, so what happens? The product will be same. Why the product will be same? Because TFC is constant throughout. That is why the product will be same, that is 60. So, we say this is the rectangular hyperbola. That means any rectangle we are forming, that means any rectangle, if you make this rectangle 3 outputs, so 3 and this is the 20, AFC is 20. So 20 into 3 if you do, again you will get the same TFC value. That means if you multiply AFC into output, you will get the same product. That means the product will be same. So rectangular hyperbola we say in the sense that all rectangles formed by the AFC. This means if you make this rectangle, so any rectangle if you form by AFC are of equal in size. It will be equal in size because we always do rectangle formula is length into breadth, is not it? So this is what? This is our length and this is the breadth. This is the length and this is the breadth, is not it? So if you multiply, you will get the same TFC value, same product. That is why any rectangular which is formed by AFC are of equal in size. I hope it is clear, children. Please note it down that why it is downward sloping curve, because TFC is constant at all level. If you divide same TFC by the number of outputs, you will, what happen? If you divide the same number of output, then TFC is constant. TFC is constant if you divide by the, TFC is constant at all units of output. As the output is increasing, the same TFC is getting divided by the number of units of output produced. That means when more units of a commodity are produced, so what happened? TFC is getting distributed over a large number of units. Clear? That is why AFC is falling down. I hope it is clear. Please note it down. Now children, coming to the average variable cost. Cost means the expenditure, which I told that cost is the expenditure, and average means per unit variable cost. Okay, per unit. Average is the per unit. So it is obtained by dividing total variable cost by the quantity of output produced. So this I have written. Now it is the per unit variable cost. Average is the per unit variable cost in producing a commodity. That means we are finding out the per unit, how much per unit variable cost is incurred to produce a commodity, or variable cost per unit of output we can also say. Clear children? Now this is the table which I have taken here. The output I have taken from 1 to 8 unit, TVC and ABC. We can see that as output increases, my total variable cost is also increasing. As output increasing, my total variable cost is also increasing. Average variable cost is falling down. Clear? Now, for example, suppose to produce the second unit, to produce 2 units of output, my total variable cost is 36, my average variable cost is 18. 36 divided by 2 is 18. So, what I am trying to say is that, first of all, it is the U-shaped curve. Clear? Because average variable cost is increasing, but reaching to the minimum point, then again it rising. See in this table, first average variable cost is it is downward sloping. First it is falling, and after that it reaching to the minimum, and then it again rise up. Clear children? So sorry, this is 17, not 7. Clear? So it is U-shaped curve. Why? The question has been asked in the board, why it is U-shaped curve. Average variable cost is U-shaped curve due to law of variable proportion. You see that first of all, as output increases, my average variable cost is falling down. Clear children? Till 5th unit you see. Till 5th unit, my average variable cost is falling down. And after that, it reaches to the minimum, and then again it rises. See, after it, my average variable cost rises. So this is the U-shaped curve. Due to the law of variable proportion, you will write. So children, we all know that variable cost is nothing but the cost incurred on the variable factors like labor. So formula is average variable cost is equals to total variable cost by Q. So only for making you understand, I am writing it. Don't write what I am writing after this formula. Clear children? So just to understand only, we can consider TVC as total labor cost. We can consider it. We have already considered with the example when I was teaching you the total variable cost. So we can consider total variable cost as total labor cost, children. So we can write like this way. Average variable cost is equals to average labor cost. So as we all know that in the increasing return, in the case of increasing return, as AP rises, I have shown you one example where I was paying 100 rupees to a worker and he is producing 15 units, then 20 units. As my average product is increasing, my labor cost per unit is reducing. That means my labor becomes cheaper. So as my labor becomes cheaper, my average labor will also become cheaper. Is not it? When my labor becomes cheaper, that means per unit labor cost is also falling. That means my labor becomes cheaper. So my average labor will also fall, will also be cheaper. Now in the second stage, what happens? See, when in the diminishing return, when AP rises, when AP falls. So what happened in case of diminishing return? When AP falls, labor becomes expensive, and when labor becomes expensive, that means my average labor will also be expensive. My average cost will be expensive. Now you see in this table, looking at this table from first unit till fifth unit, my average variable cost is falling because my labor is cheaper. After fifth unit, see sixth unit till 8, my labor is expensive because average variable cost is falling now. So the reason is only it is U-shaped due to law of variable proportion. So you will write it in the board that first in the initial stage my average variable cost is falling, reaching its minimum, then it start rising. So it is U-shaped due to the law of variable proportion. Clear children? That as output increases, my average variable cost falls. Clear children? As my output increasing, my average variable cost falls down. Clear children? After that curve start moving upward from the sixth unit, meaning thereby that my labor now becomes expensive and average variable cost begins to rise. So this is the only thing. Again I am making you clear that in the case of increasing return, where we have understand that as AP rises, my labor becomes cheaper. So when labor becomes cheaper, so that means average labor will also become cheaper. And after that, when AP falls, my labor becomes expensive. So my average labor will also be expensive. So this is the case in average variable cost. Okay, understood children? Note it down please.